Welcome to episode 5, yes, 5 of the Third Half podcast. How is everyone doing? Well, you would have seen us at the National Stadium quite recently. Well, we're back in the fabulous Usain Bolt Tracks and Records Sports Bar and Lounge. You guys should join us one of these days, and we have an exciting podcast coming up, so stay tuned for more. So we have 4 intriguing, compelling topics to discuss. But before we delve into the matter, let's introduce our panelists for today. We have Jamal Tucker to my immediate left, and we also have Jeff journalist join us as well, Javon Williams, and we also have the great Herbert Thomas making his debut with us today. It's similar like when Adnan Januzaj made his debut for Manchester United back 10 years ago. He's behind the scenes, but he's also making a valuable contribution as well. Jamal, how things?
Not too bad. It's been a while since we've been here, so took some getting used to the old routine. But I'm doing all right.
Very good, sounds good. Jeff, how are things?
I try, make sure so we stay healthy,
Yes, I saw the IG story quite recently where you spoke about people wondering are you getting afraid of being sick, running in the rain?
Sick for afraid of me, man. Right now we're so healthy, sick for afraid of me.
Right. That's right, folks. That's what you need, the vitamins to stay up to date. When you're on the go always, just be a Jeff and everything will be all right. So let's delve into the first topic that we have for this show in particular, and that's in relation to cup competitions. Now, back in the day when all of us were, let's say, quite younger than we are right now, we had the JFF Champions Cup, we also had the Red Stripe Cup, and when we were, you could say in our high school years, there was the Flow Champions Cup. A few years onwards, there wasn't a cup competition, but now we're back in things of having cup competitions with the Lynk Cup. Jamal, just firstly, your reactions of knockout football. Do you like the concept? Do you like the idea? And for it being back in Jamaica?
Yeah, absolutely. So why I love knockout football so much is because it's a performance on the day. It's easy. Well, let me not say easy, but it's more forgiving to go through a season where maybe you have some slip-ups here and there and, you can regather yourself. And, of course, there's value to that as a team, and it denotes your worth. But in terms of a cup competition where it's knockout football, the stakes are always high. So there's always jeopardy on every single game. From a viewing perspective, it's nice to watch. From a player's perspective, you kind of get up for games like that. That's why they talk about, some of the cup games overseas. They talk about them with such gusto. It's because of that jeopardy and because everything is on the line. So I like cup football. It's nice to see that we have that again for the Premier League teams.
Yeah, most definitely. Jeff, you've been on the ground. We were even there at the launch as well. The big, razzmatazz of the Lynk Cup and how everything was going to unfold, the amenities, the prizes for these players and teams as well. Your thoughts about the buzz that is growing for the Lynk Cup?
No, man, it's hot. Right now, the league kind of can reach now the playoff zone, but right now the Lynk Cup are hot. I mean, especially off the 2 goal them where they don't be holding player Stitch, some masterpiece like that to make ESPN top 10 masterpiece. I mean, we see some good games. I think the players, I don't want to say the money motivating them, but maybe just the idea of a new league, a new competition kind of just give them a sense of newness. So, even though we're 8th, 6th, 14th in the league, the cup is a new thing, so they might play different, they might play better. Precisely. And that's going good so far, I mean, I have a picks who I think I will win. I'm not going to say that. But I have a picks who I think I will win. And I'm interested to see more.
Well, it's interesting, Jamal, when you think of cup competitions, you win or you go home. Simple as that.
Yeah.
But you have an added dimension, especially in this Lynk Cup, where you have 2-legged, first leg and second leg. I mean, yes, we see it in the Champions League, Europa League, Conference League. Your thoughts about the 2-legged, scenario of things in this competition?
I found it a little strange, to be honest, considering you weren't doing that right throughout, right? And it's fine if you decide to do that for the added jeopardy. It's not the first competition that does that. There are other competitions that do get into a 2-legged affair when you get closer down. I think maybe it's because of the, apart from added entertainment value and maybe just trying to get the most out of the money being invested and such, and TV, interest and all of those things.
Right.
So outside of the business part of it, from a football perspective, it's probably, you want that separation, that distinction between the two teams, because when you get to that stage, everybody's probably around about on the same level, and maybe it's an opportunity then that if you do get the first leg wrong, so to speak, you have that second leg to maybe redeem yourself. And like I said, it adds to the entertainment value. So it was an interesting decision. I don't think it was a bad decision. It's just, that's
And
just
actually,
how they choose
it worked. I mean,
Yeah,
I want to think is Mullines are one of them team. The Harborview, I think they drew the first leg and come back and win. I mean, separate and apart from the fact that it's a week apart. I mean, and unless you're underground working 90 minutes like me, you kind of might say, oh, Jano, 2 leg. But when you really watch the ball game as from a fan perspective, 2 leg is lovely.
Yeah,
Both
like
is
I
lovely.
said, it adds to the entertainment. So I mean, the fact that they didn't, why I think it's strange in any way is just because they didn't do it before. Like, they weren't doing that right throughout. But, maybe time constraints as well. Who knows? Maybe in the future we'll just have 2-legged affairs right throughout. But outside of that, like, from a business perspective, it makes sense for both sponsors and television. And then the players have an extra game to play, sure, but
Make
at the
more
same
money.
time, they have an extra game to play.
No, but they have an opportunity to make more money.
Exactly.
$5,000 a goal, my father.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh.
You know what I mean? So it's like, and like I said, and like Jeff mentioned as well, from the fans' perspective, you get extra entertainment. So I don't think it's an issue.
I remember when we posted the link up on our page originally, persons were asking, if this is going to be shown on TV. And when, we replied, yes, every match is streamed on Sportsmax, persons were like really excited, like, more football, 2 legs,
Exactly,
them
yeah.
favorite player, them favorite team. And I mean, the link up page is booming, the highlights, the goals are lit. It's a nice little buzz. For the first year, I'm excited to see what happens for the coming years. Definitely keeping Lynk on board. They don't know the vibes up top.
Indeed. Jamal, we had this conversation, during the World Cup in December about Lynk and what has been happening. Slightly on a tangent, but I think it's synonymous with what's happening in sports as well. And Jeff and I have spoken about this as well. I still feel Jamaica is a very cash-driven society to this very day. And many times you might have your card or e-card and a machine might be down, no internet here and there. Is Lynk trying to help especially the older generations in Jamaica be less cash driven? Is this a step in that direction for Jamaicans to be less cash and more e-commerce, e-driven in that sort of aspect as well?
Yeah, well, so the older generation is definitely one of their target markets, but I know that the under and unbanked is really who they're trying to get, to allow them that kind of freedom. Because, when you're cash driven in that way, it kind of limits your operations and what you can actually do. But when you have that kind of ease of access, something that you can operate on your phone, something that you'd have on you on any given day anyway, it makes the access to certain opportunities, because it's more than just the matter of using the funds right on your device, on your account.
Right.
It's also a matter too that you can now legitimize yourself if you're a business person. You get what I mean?
Right.
Because because like, for example, if you have that account with Lynk, it can prove to say a bank who probably wouldn't look at the copious amount of cash that you say you have and think that is something they can put their trust in. But when you have that account with Lynk, it makes it a little more trustworthy as well. So it opens opportunities in that way. And then, of course, as you mentioned, the cashless operations that become available to you now.
Yeah, it's the beauty of the third half podcast. We move from football and gone into business talk. But I think Lynk plays an important part in our society and where our society is going. A lot of persons, a lot of societies abroad are already here. The cash apps and the Zelly and the da. I have a lot of faith in Lynk Up. I have a lot of faith in the this is not a Lynk ad, I promise. I never have a Lynk shirt in my life. I never work a Lynk. I don't know nobody at Lynk. Boom. But what I'm saying is, I like the idea of it. I just don't think the society is there. But you can't get there until you get there.
Yeah.
I remember Gordon Swaby was saying one time when ATM cards just came in, a lot of persons were, against it, all them 50 million different reasons as to why them now use it. Right now, everybody have an ATM card. My grandmother have an ATM card, So it's a process. We're getting there. I mean, right now, I know a lot of the players are signing up for the league with the Lynk app because they know so when them score them goal, the Lynk rep come and give them the 5-pack one time, and go buy them some Gatorade or take them girl up on a date or so on and so forth. So it's a process. even at the matches, Lynk and Duffy go around and them give out some little Lynk gift card. All you have to do is have the Lynk app. Me even get one myself. I get a little 250. Give thanks for buy a box food on one part. Give thanks. I mean, the 250 could buy the box food. I have some money in my Lynk app already. But yeah, it's a process, and we can't get there until we start moving towards. So yeah,
everything is time. I guess that's true.
It's a process. I can say it's a process.
Yeah. Can you imagine if they score a hat trick? 15 grand.
Just like that.
Yeah.
But then again, I know our trick is easier said than done. But still 15 grand just like that.
Yeah, just like that. So definitely we'll keep you all up to date in relation to the Lynk Up and how everything progresses.